Hi, my name is Stephanie Lee, and I'm a Master of Public Health student, and today I'll be talking about my microfinance pilot project in Shirati, Tanzania. This past summer, I had the amazing opportunity to go on a funded grant to do malaria research in Shirati, Tanzania for 5 weeks. So it was then that I learned about the community and really got myself involved, more so than just research. We just finished a 13-women pilot study, seeing what the interest is, and communication is not always easy, especially to different time zones and static. And I emailed the secretary of the foundation we worked with there a one-page copy of my survey, and my translator, he interviewed 13 different women, single moms specifically. So some of the women asked me, well, how long is the loan going to last? Is it 1 year, 2 years? How often do I have to pay back? How often are you give me money? And what's the interest rate? And these are all sort of questions where they're very specific. So I just realized that there's so much more I need to look into on my part. And basically the pitfalls of microfinance I've been kind of learning about are that if you don't meet the women's interests and needs, it might not turn out as fruitful as you would hope. So we're trying to look into certain ways to overcome that. And I originally wanted to do a group-based model where maybe about 5 women, they get together and they are in charge of holding their own meetings. So if one woman defaults in the group, then everybody's has shared responsibility to pay back that loan that she took out. Now I'm starting to realize that, well, these women have very different interests, so how do you meet all these needs and make sure that everybody's held accountable when they may or may not get along? With the largest microfinance providers such as Kiva or Frankazi, they have such high payback rates, 97, 98%. And just from any public health or marketing standpoint, you have to do a lot of preparation work to really make sure you understand the people you're working with, as well as trying to foresee any pitfalls that you'll have. So most of it has been planning, research, really getting a sense of the market. So the next step that I would love to do is implementation, which would really be going on the ground. I've always had a passion for alleviating poverty. It always really bothered me how it's not necessary and how it's such a difficult problem to overcome, but maybe that what we're using now isn't exactly the best model, which is handing out food, handing out things. So when I first started learning about social entrepreneurship and microfinance, it really tied into my background in finance and in business, and then I realized that this is perfect. It's gonna sustain over the years. It's gonna really provide the long-lasting impact and empowers people. I mean, that's a whole component that you don't get when you hand out free things. You don't empower anybody by doing that. It's so important to empower women because studies and past research just has shown that when men are given the microfinance lead, they tend to spend the money maybe on things that are more leisurely and short term, such as cigarettes or soda or beer. And women tend to really focus on the long term with the funds that they make, and they focus on education, their children, and their family. There's a favorite quote that I found online that I thought really just represented microfinance. So if you hear of the quote, give a man a fish, quote, well, this one, it says, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Give a woman microcredit, she, her husband, and her children, and her extended family will eat for a lifetime. So